Welcome to Knowledge Labs Cloud Computing Training. This training will take you through what cloud computing is, right from the basics to the advanced level. So this training is primarily a technology oriented training. At the end of this training, you will be able to design or architect solutions for cloud based services or cloud migration from your usual Web 2.0 or web based architecture into cloud based architecture. So we will be covering up primarily right from the basics, and each and every topic will involve theoretical and conceptual with parallel practical exposure. We will be covering up Knowledge Labs Cloud Computing Training course here. So this training covers up something right from the basics to the advanced level. So Knowledge Labs is the leader in cloud computing training right now, and we cover up something specific from the basics to the advanced level. So let me take you through the actual course content that we will be covering up here for this training. So the initial part of the course content covers up the overview, like what cloud computing is, how does cloud computing fit into the actual new scenario of IT. So the companies in cloud, why cloud computing matters, the benefits of cloud computing, the different service models, that is software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. You will be given clear picture of what these service models are. These are all the actual three broadly classified as a service models under cloud. More than cloud called as a technology, cloud is a model which can be modeled into any service. So that is a very important thing which made cloud accepted by each and every company. More than some specific reasons called cost cutting and performance benefits, it can be modeled into any service. So it can be a software, it can be a platform, or it can be an infrastructure, it can be a database, or it can be a messaging service, or anything. You name it, it can be pushed into the cloud. We'll be covering up some basics on Linux, then we'll be moving into virtualization, the key concept behind cloud computing, that is what we call it as the actual key player behind cloud. So how does virtualization help cloud? Virtualization, what is the actual concepts behind virtualization, what is the architecture behind enterprise virtualization, what are the benefits of virtualization, how does virtualization provide you cost cutting, how does your actual virtualization for enterprise work. Under this virtualization for enterprise, we will be covering up VMware, Zen and KVM. VMware ES6 is your VMware's answer for hypervisor. We call this enterprise grade virtualization tools as hypervisor. We will be understanding how a hypervisor works, and so how does Zen or KVM or ES6 works. So we will be covering up later on private clouds. So what do you mean by a private cloud? Why do we need to go for a private cloud? Why private cloud really matter? So how does the security in private cloud is versus your security in public cloud? Under private cloud, we will be covering the architecture of Eucalyptus, the components under Eucalyptus, how do you install a Eucalyptus private cloud, and finally how do you push your service into it. And you'll be able to see your infrastructure as a service provision within your company or organization when you can set up this Eucalyptus private cloud. Later we'll be covering about Amazon Web Services. Under Amazon Web Services, we will be covering up S3. S3 is your Amazon Object Store, which is nothing but a object store under cloud, which means like you have something called simple storage service, that is what we call it as S3, which is a container or a FTP kind of service available from the cloud, which is highly reliable and very cost effective solution for cloud based storage solutions. And we'll be covering about Amazon EC2. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud, which is your infrastructure as a service provider, which provisions you on-demand instances or infrastructure. So if I say I need a Linux server, in some matter of few seconds I get it delivered. If I say I need a Windows machine, I'll be getting it delivered in few seconds. So how does that happen? Surprisingly, we will be seeing all these magical effects happening right away in this training. So we will be covering up every topic from Amazon S3, EC2, Amazon EBS. EBS is your Elastic Block Store, which provisions you on-demand storage, which can increase the storage capacity of any instance without even stopping that machine. So that is yet another feature that is really of high demand for any kind of web-based or cloud-based services, where you need to increase the storage capacity without even letting your service going down. And we'll be covering up a specific load balancing algorithms, load balancing concepts, real-time load balancers. How does Amazon Web Services or Amazon Cloud provide you such options? So we'll be seeing hands-on training on all these topics that we'll be covering up here, and we'll be specifically seeing what are the cloud-based security topics: data security, network security, host security. How does Amazon Web Services or EC2 can be controlled via command line, and a case study of how cloud computing under Amazon Web Services has made a drastic effect in several companies' cost cutting and performance benefits. We'll be covering up them, and we'll also be covering up some cloud-based certification pathways, and we'll be provided Knowledge Labs Certified Cloud Specialist certificate at the end of this training. And every topic that we'll be covering up will be in detail, in depth, covering up every theoretical, conceptual and practical exposure. Thank you so much, and don't forget to like our Facebook page. So you can later on refer to our website, that is www.cloud-computing-training.in. So thank you for watching this brief introduction on cloud computing from Knowledge Lab.